Well, you got one left. You got the Bayern game. I mean, we've sort of touched on it already. How do you approach that? Is it kind of a free hit? I mean, I know that obviously you're 3-0 down from the first game. It's kind of come at the end of the season, a sort of strange time, no fans, the travel, all of it. It's going to be quite unique. I mean, how do you kind of approach it?
I think I approach it the same way as every other game. I think for me, every game you can't feel nervous or anxious. You got to be positive and feel confident in every game you go and play in. And for me, it's a thing where we want to win the game. Even if we don't go through, we want to win the game, and we'll try our best to go through. We'll give it our all. But if we don't go through, we want to win the game at least. And every game we play in, we want to win. We want to try our hardest. And as I said, it's a weird time to go to play Bayern in like on a Saturday. Very weird, strange time. So at the end of the day, we've got to stay focused, be positive, and hopefully go out there and get the right result.
I mean, in terms of the Premier League particularly, not many people gave you a chance at top four, really, with Edin going and obviously Frank coming in, and the transfer ban and all the things that you had to contend with as a team. Do you sort of feel like you've proved a few people wrong during the course of the campaign?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's a lot of people doubting us, thinking that we wasn't going to get top four, or we wasn't going to be the same when Edin left, or the new manager, or whatever's happening. So I think that we've proved a lot of people wrong. I think that we've come out this season and we've done really well. We've got top four. We've worked really hard. I'm lucky to not get third in the position of the Premier League. And we're in the round 16 of the Champions League. So I think that we've done really well extremely as a team. We should be proud of ourselves, all of us. And as I said, hopefully go next season even stronger and better.
Obviously, the transfer window's open. The club have already made a couple of signings. Timo Werner, Ziyech, Kai Havertz may be coming as well. I mean, it seems to be a very exciting time to be at Chelsea because you seem to really be building towards something now.
Yeah, I think that we're obviously trying to build such a good team for the future, not just for now as well, I think for the future. And players that are coming in, obviously very top players, and they've done really well at their previous clubs. So hopefully they can do that here as well. And as I said, we've got to hopefully keep working hard as a team, keep building and keep improving. And hopefully every day we get more and more success, and hopefully we can win trophies.
It's obviously more competition for places for you as well. Is that do you just sort of have to accept that that's kind of life at a top club? You know, that clubs just do that, don't they? Year on year, they always look to improve.
I think that's like every club. I think any club that you go to would have the same thing. I think every team has competition. Every player and every position has a competition. You want to be the player that's starting every game and want to be playing every game. So you got to prove that you should be playing every game. I think that it doesn't really matter if you've been bought or you're at the club already or whatever it is. I think you've always got to fight for your position and show the manager and your teammates and whoever, the fans, why you should be playing every game and keep proving and improving every day. So I think that for me, competition's everywhere. You got to keep playing well and keep hopefully showing the manager why you should be playing.
I want to ask you just a bit about lockdown and just about the coronavirus. I know you talked about it before. Obviously, I mean, you were pretty much the first Premier League player, I think, to get it, or certainly it became public knowledge anyway. And it happened in the beginning of March when I guess a lot of people in this country probably didn't kind of realise how big it was going to be, how serious it was going to get. I just kind of wondered now with that sort of perspective, how you reflect on that now, just that whole period.
Yeah, it was crazy, to be fair. Like, I said to myself, I didn't even know this was even in England. Like, at the time, I was thinking to myself, it's a virus that's come around where I've heard this in Spain, other countries where I'm like, wow, this is very dangerous. But I didn't know it was in England as much. And then when I heard it was coming to England, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's up north, further away from us, where it won't really come around us. And then for me to even have it, I was just so shocked. I was like, wow, am I sure? Like, are you sure I really have it? Because I wasn't expecting to, you know what I mean? I wasn't expecting to get it. Like, it's a thing where you don't understand how you even got it. So for me, it was just a thing where I reflect on it now and look back at it and I'm like, wow, that's crazy that I actually had the virus that everyone was talking about and where it's come from. And it's just the thing that, you know, okay, you just got to be careful where certain places you go and certain things you touch, and always making sure that you're washing your hands and staying hygienic just to make sure that you don't get no viruses or anything like that. So reflecting back at it, just look at it and you think, yeah, it was a crazy period.
And last question, I just want to ask you about Black Lives Matter as well, because it's obviously been a very important movement. I just wondered what you've made of it, the impact that it's having, how proud you are that it's been a sort of Premier League wide, initiative that everybody's got behind.
No, I think I'm really proud of how everything's gone. I think it's extremely important that we send the message out across to everybody about Black Lives Matter, because it's a thing where racism shouldn't be in our game at all. It shouldn't be around at all. Doesn't matter who you are, what color you are. You should all be treated the same, all equal. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm proud to see everybody taking a knee to the floor before every game, before starting the game. Everybody saying Black Lives Matter. And for me, it's you look around and you've seen everybody really being involved in it, and it makes everybody else know that, okay, this is a really serious thing. We're all taking it seriously, and we want to keep making the message, putting the message out there that we're being serious about this. Things need to change, and hopefully things will change. So it's an extremely important message that everything's going out, and hopefully it keeps getting pushed out there as well.
Yeah, because I was at that game in Montenegro when when you had to deal with it. I mean, it was being exposed to that at such a young age, and the first England game I think it was your debut, wasn't it? Just
Yeah.
can you just talk, sort of reflect a bit on that? Just having to be exposed and having to. You spoke brilliantly about that, by the way, after the game. You did. I remember you did a live TV interview about it. Just that experience of having to deal with that at such a young age must have been, makes you grow up quickly, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things where you don't expect it, and when it happens to you, you react in a way where you don't really understand what's really going on. You're like, wow, what is this? I'm being called certain things at a young age as I was. I'm like, wow, I shouldn't be hearing, none of us should be hearing this stuff. We should be all enjoying the sport of football and smiling. If your team's losing, you shouldn't be calling other players certain things because your team is not winning the game, or you're frustrated about how your team is playing. So for me, when I started hearing stuff like that, it really made me think, wow, like, this is not right. You shouldn't be hearing this. And for me, personally, I was just kept saying to myself, you know what? Stay positive. Don't think about it too much. Stay positive. Keep being happy. And there was a lot of players around me at the time advising me and telling me, listen, Carl's okay. Like, they'll give me advice, helping me. And for me, it was a thing where I think the team dealt with it very well. I think we all understood the circumstances of what was happening and what was going on, and we dealt with it really well. We took our showers, went home, dealt with all the media stuff perfectly, and went home. So I think we all did that well, and I think, obviously, I said racism needs to stop as well in the game.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.